What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be testing out the 12x12 VEVOR camping gazebo. Now this is an octagon gazebo. It's a screen room. You could use it for outdoor camping to keep bugs out. If you really wanted to, you can use it to sleep in it because it comes with sides that you can Velcro on. But as you can see here, first and foremost, this thing is 6 foot 2 inches tall. I'm almost 5'8", so just keep in mind if you're putting this in the back of your vehicle, if you have a truck bed that's 5.5 foot, you're gonna have to put it at a slight angle. Putting it in the back of my wife's CRV was no problem as long as I put it up between the seats, and it even fit in my Kia up between the seats. But just keep in mind, like I said, it's 6 foot 1 inches tall when it's folded up. Now they do have a 10x10 one as well, so if you want something that's around 5'1" tall, you might want to get that one. But let's get this thing open, see how easy it is to set up by myself, because it's supposed to be really easy going up, and see what kind of quality this is. So nice little carry bag here. So everything goes in here nice. I don't know how this is going to go after I unfold everything, but here's your side walls. You have some instructions, some stakes, and of course the gazebo itself. And I've been wanting one of these screen rooms for a while now. Ever since we went camping, we had a lot of bugs at the last place we went, and there was a screen room, and it was really nice being able to go inside, cook in there in the screen room, and get out of the way of the bugs. And my wife's been wanting one of these ever since. So VEVOR did reach out to me and ask me to review this, and I was like, absolutely, because like I said, my wife's been wanting to get one of these. I've been wanting to get one. So these sides pop out really easily here, and I'm going to do this by myself. Every year I go on a camping trip with my son, and we set the tent up. We have a pretty big tent, and it's kind of a pain in the butt the way it goes up, because you have to put all the poles and posts in. So that's what's nice about this, how easy it is to put up. First, you just pull out all these sides. Once you get all those out, all you got to do is put the roof up. Now this may be the hardest part because I'm short, but pretty easy. There you have it. Now all I have to do, they do give you rods to put down through here on each side of the door. Gonna go ahead and put them in. That will sturdy this up. And what's really nice about this is 300D Oxford fabric, and the mesh is really tight woven. The screen on this is very tight, so really small bugs are not going to get through this. So here's the rods that go on the side of the doors. You just clip it together, and then you want to go ahead and put it down through the mount on the bottom there. Then you just want to bend this pole until you can get it in this upper one here. And then you just tie it here to keep it secure. And that will sturdy up your corners there next to your door. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is you want to stake this down. Now they do give you some little stakes here to stake it, and I believe there's some rope in here. Some good rope there, and some stakes here. But to be honest, I'd probably use some bigger stakes. This will probably work for something that you're only going to use for a little while if it's not super windy. But I always like the bigger stakes that look like huge nails. So if it's really windy, you may want to use those, but we'll go ahead and use these on some of it. And then we'll run some guide wires down from each one of these to the outside, and that's going to prevent the wind from blowing these sidewalls in. But you want to put your side curtains on first before you do that, because there's a hole in each one of them that your rope's going to go through. You may want to stake these loops on the outside, because if it gets windy and this wall comes in, it may slip right off that stake. So flip that over, flip that flap up, and nail them down from the outside. All right, so we're on the last corner, and what you want to do is you want to zip that door before you stake this last corner, because if you don't zip it and you pull it too far apart, it's not going to zip. And if you secure it down too close together, then you're going to have a big dip in your roof. So just zip that up, pull it kind of snug, and then put your last nail or last stake here in the corner. And that's going to secure this thing down really well. All right, everyone, so I got 2 of the walls on. Let's go over the measurements now. Inside here, I got 11 foot 2 inches. Now this is supposed to be a 12x12. So we got 11 foot 2 here. And this is from peak to peak here on these corners. If you go on the straight walls, it'll be less. I have about 11 foot 8 there. And I think I had 12 foot on one of these. So it really depends on where you stake them down. Now I did every corner tight. I got 12 foot there. I did every corner tight. I don't think I could pull any corner any tighter. So the ones that are only like 11 foot, not sure why that is. But overall, pretty decent. And the height of the center, plenty of height here at 7 foot 8 almost. So really good height wise. And you can see on 2 of these panels, you have little windows here so you can get a cross breeze through here. So you want to put one of those panels on one side and the other one on the other side directly opposite of that, so you get a nice breeze. Or you could flip down these corners here and get a breeze anywhere you want but if it rains, you might want to put this back up. You could flip them down halfway if you want. You could flip the bottoms up. So really nice here that these Velcro on the sides really easily. These just Velcro on here, and then this top flap Velcros back down on over the side flap. That way if it rains, the rain will roll right down the outside of this. And then you can see here there's a hole in the center of each one of these where you can hang your guide wire down here to prevent the wind from blowing this in. And what's nice too, on the door here, they give you a flap that also zips so that you can still get in. Basically, you can have a double zipper there, but they give you a flap for your door as well to keep the rain out of there. And there's also ties up here that you can roll this door up and secure it up here if you don't want these flaps on the doors. And you want to make sure you put these guide wires in here, that way the wind doesn't blow these sides in. And you can tighten them up here with the included tensioner that they give you. Really nice, easy. So now if the wind blows, this isn't going to blow in. All right, so we got all the sides on. You can see I have the doors rolled up and I have the windows open on the two sides for the cross breeze. Got all the sides staked down. And like I said, you want to do that to prevent the wind from blowing them in. But we're going to leave this set up for a couple days. Hopefully we get some rain and some storms to see how it holds up, but we're going to leave it set up and see how it performs. One thing to mention is when you go to unzip this, you may have to stand on the flap here to get it unzipped. And there is no vent in the roof, which could be a good thing if it rains, but it might get a little bit hot up here if the sun was beating down on this. Although you could take these sides off or fold them down and you'll get a nice breeze coming through. But what makes it nice is they do give you a hook in the center here, which would be nice for hanging this VEVOR fan up here when it gets hot. And what's pretty cool is this fan comes with a remote. It has 4 settings for the fan, has a light for nighttime, a couple different modes there. And then you can also set it to rotate at a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree angle, so it could rotate back and forth, which is pretty nice and would be pretty cool for a little bit of breeze in here when it gets hot. But this thing charges up, has a 40,000 milliamp hour battery, and you can also use it as a power bank to charge your cell phone up in a pinch if you need to. And another awesome way to use this camping fan is to take it camping like this. So we rented this cabin at Laurel Hill State Park, and it was an awesome deal for like 90 bucks for 2 nights. Of course, we got our e-bikes here, got the Hanovere and the electric here, but I was able to hang this fan up in the back window because this cabin does not have air conditioning, it only has heating. And I was able to hang this fan in the back window, set it to 45 degrees, and it was able to spin there and cool the whole night. It kept us nice and cool. And with the remote, I was able to lay in bed and adjust it as I needed to, and also use those lights if we had to wake up in the middle of the night. So it's pretty awesome in my opinion. All right, everyone, so it's been raining out here all day. Unfortunately, I was at work, so my son had to record a few clips while it was pouring down rain, and I didn't tell him what to say. I just told him to go get some video footage of it, and I think he did an excellent job. Let's roll them clips now.
So I had to get a quick clip while my dad's at work, and it started sprinkling, so we're gonna see how dry it is inside. It looks pretty dry and all. Edge is pretty dry. You see, he got the windows closed and the outside curtains on. I'm gonna zip it up real quick here. And as you can see, it's mostly dry around here. There's a little bit of water right there, but that's supposed to be outside. Mostly dry, like in the corners and stuff. Looks like there's no leaks up on the roof or anything. It's definitely working out good. No water's getting through, I don't think. If it's raining, you definitely want to put the curtains up though, because it definitely starts to get a little bit through the screen once it starts to rain. So you definitely want to put the curtains up. Okay, so I was checking around for any leaks, and I realized by these windows, like right here, it gets a little damp around these corners. But other than that, it keeps pretty dry. You just gotta make sure that this zipper's mostly all the way down, because a little water could get through that little hole right there. So if you want to stay completely dry, you're gonna want to close like everything. Make sure you close the windows tight. Definitely working good. Okay, so it's outside here. It's just barely sprinkling now, but as you can see, the water's just rolling right off the roof. Here you could see there should be a little more Velcro. You could see you could just get right through there. That's why I'm thinking it's damp. It's holding up good though. A little lightning right there. So you can see it's a little storm. Mostly staying dry inside though. Okay, so this is after a couple hours of light rain. Water's just rolling off there. Now we're gonna go inside. Okay, it looks pretty dry in here. Oh, I think there's a little bit of a leak right here. There's a little bit of leak, yeah, around the seams, but not too much. Seems pretty dry at the bottom, not too wet. A little damp. Let's check around the windows. Oh yeah, it's pretty damp around the windows, but it's leaking through this seam. You could see the water's rolling off and going through this seam right here. Definitely kept most of the rain out. There's dry in the center, nothing leaked there. Yeah, the edges are a little damp from leaking right here. But other than that, it seems pretty fine to me. I mean, there's no leaks in the center, just on the edges. There's drips like every 10 seconds, there's like one drip. So other than that, it's holding up pretty well. None of the stakes are coming out or anything.
So what do you think? I think he did great. Please put it down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. He's going to be taking over for me in no time. But anyway, it held up really good. And as you can see, he didn't miss anything. None of the roof held water, and the water never poured up on the roof when it was raining, which is really nice. A lot of canopies, it'll get dips in it and then the water will collect, and that's what collapses your canopy. So nice that the water shut off here well. However, as he said, the one seam inside, which is this seam right here, was leaking a little bit. So that would have been nice if that was seam sealed there. I don't believe it is. And you could see some of the moisture around the windows here on the bottom, probably because there's really no Velcro holding the sides, just two strips on the bottom. So rain could possibly get in there. But to be fair, it's been raining here all day. Let's take a look inside. So the grass in here in the center is completely dry. Down here, you could see where there's a little bit of moisture coming in from the water laying on the flap on the outside, but overall, really nice and dry in here. It does feel a little bit damp on the roof. It's not leaking through here, but it does feel a little damp. But these are the seams that are leaking, and you can tell these ones are not seam sealed. So I don't know why they didn't seam seal these ones or the ones on the side, but these ones on top are seam sealed here. So these ones shouldn't leak whatsoever. So these ones don't seem to be leaking. It's just from here down does. So I'm not sure if I would use this as a tent for camping, because some of your stuff may get a little bit damp inside. However, something to keep tables in here, chairs, food, keep the bugs out is going to be really nice. And to be honest, that's probably what I'm going to be using it for when I'm camping. I'm probably going to put this over the picnic table and put all my food and stuff in there to keep the bugs and flies out when you're sitting in there eating and things like that. All right, everyone, so I've had this set up for about a week now. It rained, thunderstormed, it was pretty windy a few days, and it held up excellent. The main thing is you're going to want to make sure you put down your guy wires to keep those sides out. But one thing to keep in mind also is I'm 5'8", so coming through this door here, I have to duck. So if you're really tall, like 6'6", you're definitely gonna have to duck pretty good to get in this doorway. However, like I said earlier in the video, the center of this is pretty high here. I can't even touch it. It's just coming in through the door. Overall, weather-wise, it held up good. The whole top is seam sealed except for around these edges. So you will get some leaks coming through here. That would have been the only thing that I really would have liked to see updated, was this seam here sealed, and maybe a little bit more Velcro around the outside walls. But they held up well. You can see here, I still got the back attached for shade because the sun's coming through this way. And it is gonna get a little bit hot in here in the summertime if the sun's beating down on it, but the top is pretty light around these edges here to let some sunlight through, which is nice. And you can open up the walls to get a nice breeze through here. But overall, really satisfied with it. Can't wait to use it on some camping trips. Let's see how easy it is to tear down. And like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll put links down below in the description where you can purchase this and the fan. And it will help support my channel if you use that link, so I appreciate it. But let's see how hard it is to tear down now. All right, so I got all the walls off, all the stakes out, and I left the guy wires tied to all these corners because next time I set it up, they'll already be attached. All I gotta do is put the stakes in. I'm gonna reach up here, which I could barely grab because it's pretty tall. Let me jump for it. There we go. Pull the center down first. And one thing I forgot to do was take out the rods next to the door frames. So make sure you take those out first. There's one and there's the other. So don't forget to take those out. Other than that, folds up very easy. Once you get it folded up, put the included strap around it to keep it nice and tight. And now the fun part, trying to fit it back in this bag. Hopefully it goes in easily. Instead of folding the door up, I just left it rolled up like this. I'm gonna lay it in here like this. All right, let's see if we can get it to zip up. Perfect. Ready for the next trip. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more outdoor content or want to learn about e-bikes, solar panels, things like that. Appreciate you watching, and I will see all of you around on the next one.